Well, winter's approaching pretty soon, but that doesn't mean the streets of Savannah isn't always hot. Hello everyone, this is Pac-Man Jones of Savannah Seaport News. Now, last week on November the 28th, the Savannah Chatham Police Department, with assistance from the U.S. Marshal Service and the Chatham Savannah Counter Narcotics Team and the Chatham County Sheriff's Office, worked together to help arrest 24 out of 30 men involved with gang violence in the Cuyler-Brownsville neighborhood, aka CBV. Now, what they're saying is that this is federal indictments that's been handed down to these guys. Most of these guys, well, 24 of these guys have been arrested, but 6 of these guys are on the one. But as we all know about Cuyler-Brownsville, well, if you don't know about Cuyler-Brownsville, that neighborhood is on the west side. That neighborhood borders Anderson Lane, West 31st Street, Montgomery Street, Victory Drive, Ogeechee Road, and Hopkins Street. If you watch plenty of my videos, I've been through Cuyler-Brownsville or CBV all the time. Just watch all my other news videos. I mean, I ride through there plenty of times. But anyways, after 10 months of investigation, police gathered enough surveillance, undercover evidence, and perhaps most importantly, tips from the public. Federal indictments and criminal complaints were unsealed on Tuesday against 30 Savannah residents charged with federal firearms, drug trafficking, robbery, and related offenses. The charges are a result of a joint federal, state, and local efforts to reduce violent crimes and drug activities in that area. Now, they also seized a whole bunch of firearms, including a semi-automatic pistol, revolvers, assault-style rifles, shotguns, firearms with extended magazines, extended clips, extendos, along with 100 rounds, plenty of ammunition. They said they had enough ammunition to gun down that whole neighborhood if they wanted to. But one of the stolen firearms that was recovered was connected to 4 separate shootings within the Cuyler-Brownsville neighborhood, and another firearm that was recovered was connected to 11 prior shootings in the Savannah area. Now, investigators also seized body armor and huge amounts of MDMA, like controlled substances like cocaine. They also seized a good bit of weed and heroin and oxycodone. Police have not yet arrested the 6 of the men charged, including these men I'm about to name: Leonard Guzzy Washington, who ages 37, Julian Juju Harris, who ages 50, DeAndre Davis, who ages 31, Dennis Lil Red Grubbs, who ages 33, Derek Rico Butler, who ages 29, and Baheem Frazier, who age is 25. Now, let me just say something that I know personally. Everybody who lives, well, I wouldn't say everybody, but people who live in Cuyler-Brownsville, they go by CBV for what I know for the most part. So when I'm reading, this is off of the website that I'm reading this off of to you guys, it's trying to make it seem like there were 2 drug gangs. I guess they're trying to make it seem like there's 2 drug gangs that's trying to go back at it at each other. But the only, I just say this, the only people who live in CBV, they go by CBV. You know what I'm saying? They go by those initials. I don't know anything else about Cuyler-Brownsville except for they go by those initials. And I had my eye on this rapper who was pretty hot from out that area. I had my eye on him, but I haven't heard from him ever since. But I mean, like I said, it's a neighborhood on the west side, pretty hot. I mean, every other year there's some type of indictment, so there's some type of federal activity or some police activity, like really heavy police presence in that area. It's one of the roughest sides on the west side, believe it or not. Now, in some other news, on Wednesday, November the 29th, Savannah Chatham Police Department has arrested a suspect of shooting a pregnant woman on November the 5th. Kevin Maxwell, who ages 20, was apprehended on Wednesday. He is charged with reckless conduct and parole violation. Officers responded to the 1100 block of East 56th Street at about 11:20 p.m. on November the 5th after they found a 20-year-old woman suffering from a gunshot wound. Detectives determined that the woman had been in a physical altercation with another woman outside of East 56th Street residence. While they were fighting, Maxwell allegedly pulled out a gun and fired a round into the floor of the porch. Police say the bullet ricocheted, striking the pregnant woman. And also in some other news, on November the 30th, on Thursday, a Savannah man has been sentenced to 20 years in federal prison for his role in sex trafficking 8 minor children between the ages of 13 and 17. Timothy DeQuan Lewis, who ages 34, was sentenced by U.S. District Court Judge William T. Moore, Jr. Officials say Lewis was convicted of 19 felony counts by federal trial jury in March 2017. According to evidence presented at the trial, the FBI received a lead in October 2015 from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, aka NCMEC, that a 13-year-old child had ran away and was missing. A telephone analysis conducted by NCMEC of telephone numbers previously associated with the missing child revealed that various online escort advertisements with images that appeared to depict the missing child. The FBI investigation led agents to the Gateway Hotel on Abercorn Street in Savannah, where Lewis was staying. FBI located and rescued 3 children from the hotel, including the missing 13-year-old. Lewis was arrested at the hotel, and agents ultimately found 5 additional minors victimized by Lewis. Officials say Lewis was created and posted online prostitution advertisements for all 8 of his minor victims, and he transported the children to his customers and profited from the commercial sex acts they performed. He employed coercion and physical abuse to compel some of the victims to engage in his activity. First and foremost, I just want to say thank you to the Savannah Chatham Police Department for finding this sick, twisted, just nasty person, like, who really exploits children like that. Second of all, I just want to address this to the public because a lot of people have been saying, oh, well, you know, they're still doing slavery in Africa, they still doing slavery in Libya, they still, like, I see all these rappers and all these other famous people that are talking about slavery, but the main thing that's happening in the communities in Savannah and any other community in the United States is not only child abuse, but child exploitation and also sex slaving. I mean, that's also, believe it or not, that's still something that's happening in the United States. And, you know, that's when people think about sex slave trafficking, people think about, you know, no offense, but people think about, you know, Asia, because that's where it's really common at, in Asia, in little small rural towns over in Asia. But a lot of people don't think that something like that could happen in a city like this. But yeah, a lot of people are really focused on what's going on in different countries, but people really need to start recognizing what's going on in the city of Savannah, because, you know, like I said, this could happen anytime, anywhere, in anybody's city, especially this city. And you know, just a really sick individual, and whoever purchased or bought sex from a child, man, I mean, that's hell is your only option left in life. So that's just something I really, out of all the things that I cover on this channel, that's something I really don't fuck with. I really don't like child molestation or any of that bullshit, like, you know, sex trafficking minors. You know, that's 100% like just bogus. It really is. And in my last piece of news, as of today, December the 4th, this Monday, Chatham County will receive a new police chief. Actually, he already been sworn in right now. His name is Jeff Hadley, and he comes from Kalamazoo, Michigan, where he served as a police chief for nearly 10 years. Haley's experience in law enforcement dates back for more than 20 years. You know, this happened because of the split between the Savannah Chatham Metropolitan Police Department. And if you guys already been noticing in the city, some of y'all have been noticing different police cars. You've seen, I think their cars now is I think it's black and kind of blue or something like that. I seen one the other day when I was passing by. Luckily I wasn't speeding, but I mean, yeah, this is pretty much a done deal. The first year of the operation for 2018 could cost more than $17.8 million, but taxpayers will share some of that burden because the county raised the mileage rate earlier this year. The new Chatham County Police Department will work out the Allens Precinct and southwest portion of the county. So as far as giving y'all a map of where the Chatham County Police will be, I guess, monitoring or just patrolling, I'll give a map for that pretty soon. If not, I'll try to drop that in the next video. But yeah, I just want to get y'all guys up to date. I gotta have y'all seaporters going, let y'all know what's going on in the city of Savannah. I can't keep y'all not up to date, but that's all that's going on for right now. Any other updates for all the news that I talked about in this video, I'll let y'all know as well. But that's all. Stay blessed, Seaport.